Hello and welcome to Intuitively Matt. I'm Matt. Today I wanted to share how I do my free readings when you ask for a free reading from me. A lot of my close circles don't know how to ask questions for tarot, or they think it needs to be about something future based. So, will I, if, will this happen? A lot of wills. There's a whole bunch of variety of questions. Yes, no, hows is one of my favorite ways to read tarot. I'm not sure if this is going to be a series yet, but I wanted to make this video to show you guys 4 examples of a tarot reading. I pulled these questions from a Reddit post where I have asked for free readings. Everyone in the video is anonymous and has consented to their questions and information being put out there. We're going to do 4 readings and we're going to see how it goes. Now, I do want to preface these readings that the tarot cards give a screenshot of the energies around you at this moment, especially with if questions and will questions. Energies are constantly changing. You are constantly doing things to change the energies around you. Nothing is set in stone. You are in charge of your own destiny. And it reminds me of the quote from The Alchemist saying, I'm going to loosely paraphrase, that the best lie that people tell themselves is that fate exists. I'm simply offering some frame to work with. And let's get started. But for our first question, Anonymous 1 asks, is Seattle interested in pursuing a relationship with me? So let's ask the cards. So here is where I'm going to be doing the spread and pulling the cards. I'm working with the Everyday Tarot deck by biddytarot.com. I have my piece of black tourmaline, selenite, quartz, jade, and amethyst. And I also have on my jewelry to help me out doing a relationship. Here, what I'm getting from Judgment is that maybe Querent has been a little bit self-critical of themselves, has maybe, and of others, I want to say. And maybe this is what catches the eye of this other person, is that maybe that you have felt as though they check all the boxes. They pass the criteria, they pass your judgment. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe this isn't the right time for a relationship to be started. Maybe this isn't the moment for things to come to fruition, to progress. Here we have the King of Wands reverse, and this tells me maybe you really want a relationship with this person. You really want to, and you know what, I'd say go for it if you really want to. Why regret something? I want you to remain flexible to the idea that it may not be what you expect, and I want you to not let your ego get in the way if you are rejected or are not immediately met with reciprocation. That's what I'm getting. I also want to pull a clarification card for you. I like to pull clarification cards as I go, wherever I feel necessary. This may be unrequited, because I'm getting from that Knight of Wands that you've been ignited by this interest in another person. There isn't much to grow from here. There isn't much to start with. Maybe it needs to start with a friendship first. That's what I'm getting. I think it needs to start with a friendship, a small connection, and it definitely, everything has the potential to grow further. I think that's what it'll happen. Maybe cool off the immediate, I really want this person. And if you start looking at it, well, I want to make a connection with this person and see where this goes, maybe that's a better mindset to have. And here you have the Moon. This kind of adds to what I was thinking, is that maybe it is some sort of thought. Maybe this person has given signals unknowingly, or has given false signals, meaning they weren't entirely truthful to you, and they just wanted to get a kick out of giving a signal. It is a really bad thing to do. I hope that it's not saying that you have done that. Your emotions are really tied up into this person. It's like a crush almost. Of course, a crush, you want to connect with the other person, but it's not like I want to have this person in my life in any way possible. So I feel as though that's what I'm getting from this. Thank you so much. Let me know if you felt it was accurate, and I really hope that you enjoyed. Let's move on to our next querent. Before we move on, I do want to say I have an Instagram called @IntuitivelyMatt. I will link it down below so you can go check it out. Please go check it out. I would appreciate a follow, and I'd love to get in contact with you if you want a free reading. The best way to book me is to just DM me on Instagram, or you could leave a comment below asking for a free reading and I'll get in contact with you. But let's move on to Anonymous number 2. Anonymous number 2 asks, I'm in a band with my partner, and I'm curious if that's a good move for me. Should I continue to invest my time in the band? Well, let's ask the cards. I've just cleansed my deck by blowing on it on all sides, and then I've knocked on it 3 times using the black tourmaline, so I feel as though it has been reset energetically. And I also like to do a little shuffle between readings of people, so that way it just gets the cards mixed up. The energies or the messages can kind of get muddled, just to sort of move on from the past reading. I'm gonna say their real name while I'm shuffling. You won't be able to hear this in the band that they play in. Very interesting here. So here you have the Sun, Knight of Swords, and you have the Moon reversed. You might call me flippant, you might call me flaky, but I don't always feel the need to read reversed. I kind of let my intuition guide that. I can tell that you have been, from the Sun, that you haven't been feeling well. This question has sort of been on your mind a lot and has been sort of weighing you down. It's sort of zapped the vitality that the Sun represents, and it's kind of zapped that energy out of you. Things were going fine, and you're worried if this will rain on your parade, sort of. Is that will you know, being this involved with your partner rain on your parade? Will it add any tension that doesn't need to be there? And I'm getting from this Knight of Swords that maybe someone is very harsh with their words, is very I want to say defensive, but is very quick and smart and very cutting with their words. Here you have the Moon, so maybe there is some confusion, your emotions, you're worried about mixing certain parts of your life, and you don't want your emotions to get hurt, or you don't want to ruin a good thing. So I'm going to ask for clarification. I think you know what it is that you should do. That's what I'm getting from these cards. You know what you should do. But here we have the King of Wands, and this is a very inspiring, this is an adventurous spirit, so I'd say don't let power in this relationship get in the way. So like if maybe one person plays this instrument and they have the spotlight for the second, do not let that jealousy get in the way. Don't let your immediate reactions guide your relationship. Your relationship's more important than that. And here you have the Nine of Cups. I want to say share the limelight, share the attention, make sure that you guys, both of you, are getting what it is that you need. So what I will say from this reading is that if you continue to be in the band with your significant other, don't let greed get in the way. Do not let jealousy of attention get in the way. If you start to notice it, it is more than fine to say, I need out. I need to, go with my gut in this case and just say, I need to compartmentalize my life in this area because I do not want to ruin a good thing. And I could see this happening. If you want to continue with this, then have belief, have the faith that it will work out. It's always fine if it doesn't, but don't come from this with a negative point of view. And I also want to pull one last clarification. And here you have Four of Wands. You have built up either this relationship or this relationship with your band, and this maybe passion that you have with your band, but you don't want to see that foundation. You don't want to see that work crumble because of either or. You don't want to see your relationship end with the band. You don't want to see your relationship end with your significant other. I would say if you begin to feel burnt out, if your anxiousness overtakes you, I would say think of stepping away from the band. But only you know what to do. Only you know what is right for you in this moment. It's totally fine to change your mind. Just know that. But if I had to say this, maybe you need a little bit of time away from the band. Okay, so I just pulled another clarification. And what I have here written down in my book is staying within a difficult situation. And I feel as though if you feel any situation being difficult, maybe you need some time away from the band. I hope you liked your reading, and I really appreciate your interest in it. Let's move on to querent number 3. Anonymous number 3 asks, I'm just looking for some general guidance. And this is honestly my favorite reading to do as of now. It's what do I need to know in this moment? That is exactly what I asked the card. What does querent need to know in this moment? I encourage you to read that way if you've never done it. I like to read that way every few days or so for myself. Love, love, love readings like this. Why? Because it is so easy to ask. Because when you ask any source for guidance, usually you will get something great, especially if you're working with your ancestors or if you're working with your angels or your spirit guides. You will get some great advice by asking, what do I need to know in this moment? Okay, this is really interesting. So you have death here. So maybe you're coming to an end of a chapter in your life. And I don't be scared of this card. This is not a bad card. Starting a new chapter in your life. So I would say if you have any loose ends, if you have any work that hasn't been finished, or if you have any emotions that you feel need to be expressed, now is the time to sort of tie up those loose ends and get ready for the next thing. Now, this may involve leaving something that you've already built or leaving something that you've invested time and emotion in to find something better. It's recalculating, it's pivoting in your life. And here you have the Lovers reversed. So I would say be open to connections with new people. Do not close off connections. Do not become, I want to say a hermit, but the hermit's not a bad thing to become. Do not sacrifice the relationships you do have. So I feel like this is a pretty clear reading. You are starting a new chapter in your life, are going to need to leave something that you've built or invested emotion and time into. And don't sacrifice relationships. Relationships are not one of those things that you need to walk away from in this moment and in this time. And here we have judgment. Do not be critical of yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. Also, don't be absorbed with yourself. So when I say focus on yourself, I want to say, and I mean, give attention to yourself, be kindful and careful to yourself, make yourself a priority, but don't do that at the sacrifice of your connections and your relationships with other people. Maybe you have some bad habits going on that you need to cut, that you need to sort of, I want to say, face it already. There's something new that's wanting to start for you, and do not try to run away from it. Do not try to battle it. Accept it whichever way it comes. One more clarification card. You have the moon. The moon's coming up a lot for everyone today. Do not be insecure. Be secure in yourself. Know that you will get through whatever phase and change that you're going through. And I think you'd be fine. So this is I love general readings because they usually end up pretty clear. There's usually a clear message in here. So I appreciate your reading, and I would love to know if you found it accurate. Again, thank you so much for the interest in the reading, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye. Finally, we have Anonymous number 4. Anonymous number 4 asks, my best friend and I went out of contact a while ago. Will they reach out soon? Let's see what the cards say. Hello and welcome. I appreciate your interest in the reading, so let's get started. So what this tells me is that maybe the friendship might be at a place where it can take a pause. Maybe there was some laziness in the friendship that you felt as though there was an effort in being and interacting with each other. There wasn't a responsibility of friendship. There wasn't that commitment there that led to a connection. But you know what? That's fine, because you need to persevere. You've gone through, I think what the cards is playing out is that you will have gone through this friendship breakup or this pause at the friendship. Because friends come and go, they come and go into your life. But that's fine, because there are other resources there. There are other things that you have going on in your life that need attention, that are almost completed. This tells me that you are at a phase where things are wrapping up, things are changing in your life at a very fast pace, and you're ready for the next phase of your life. You're at the end of your whatever cycle that you're in. 6 of Cups. This tells me that this person was like a sibling. This person was a close friend that you have memories with. Maybe you're living in the past. This is also nostalgia. This is maybe if this friendship, you outgrew this friendship. That's what I'm getting. You outgrew this friendship, and you don't need to worry about them contacting you. Why? Because the phone works both ways. If you've reached out to them, they have the ability to pick up the phone, unless they are in some sort of ability where they cannot pick up the phone. They will most likely reach out to you once they can, and if they haven't, that is on them. You can't keep wasting your energy and your time like this, because I feel as though this was a school friendship. This was a friendship that was not, maybe the other person didn't take as seriously as you did, which is a sucky situation to be in. But here you have the King of Pentacles reversed, which tells me maybe this person or you were undisciplined in the friendship. There wasn't any boundaries or trust. I want to say trust. And therefore there is no stability if there is no trust. There was just not much built up in this friendship, besides these initial connections of that felt like a sibling. I feel as though this person, if there was connections in work, this person is dismissing it. And that is on them. That is also your choice if you want to connect with that person. Because personally, if one person disgraced all the work I've put into a friendship, I would not want to be their friend after that. But that is just me. Here with the Page of Swords, that maybe this person knows what they're doing. They're being sharp, I want to say foxish. That is not a good friend in my opinion. But the cards can always be wrong. I will say, I am going to pull one last clarification card for you. You have the Two of Swords, which tells me that you are at a crossroads. You have the ability to either continue with this friendship or not, as you did before this reading. But this tells me there's a really defensive energy here, and maybe one of you feels that they've done something wrong and they feel the need to be defensive. Maybe this other person has felt they have wronged you in some way and therefore don't want to make contact with you because they don't feel worthy of your presence anymore. Say your last message. Reach out and say, hey, I am reaching out to you for the last time. Why? Because I need to move on with my life. I would hope that you would honor our friendship. But if you don't, know this is a pause in the friendship. This is a pause in our connections. People outgrow friendships. You have the world. You are clearly at a phase where you are ready for the next level. You can't be wasting your time like this. And especially with the Nine of Wands, you've been through a battle. Maybe this battle was an argument with this friend. You can't keep wasting your time like this. You have other things and better things to focus on. I hope you found value in it. Let me know if it was accurate. Let's go back to the talking head. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you appreciate it. Again, please check out my Instagram @IntuitivelyMatt and give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and put on the notification bell because I am planning to upload weekly forecasts, general readings, and hopefully some zodiac-based tarot readings. If you would like a free reading, I'm doing my first 100 tarot reading for free to gain experience and knowledge. I really appreciate the interest, and if not, I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.